He'd be great.
Because he's not reactive.
And he didn't react at all.
And sit down. And sit down. And sit down.
Let's bring on the host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Welcome, everybody. This is a rock and roll show, so a little bit different from everybody else, and we talk about pets, people, and pop culture. And no topic is, what's the word, Jim? We cover it all. What's the word?
Off the table.
No topic is off the table.
Or because your dogs eat off the table anyhow.
And we're live from Las Vegas. Today, well, actually, in the past, and this was one of our most popular shows, was the Big Pooh Show. That's right. The Big Pooh Show was one of our most popular shows. It was funny. It was very informative. And it's a topic that a lot of people don't talk about. And today we're going to talk about another big topic, which I have never heard anyone discuss this one, which is blood. I know you're probably thinking, if you're listening in for the first time, what kind of show is this? But we are going to be talking about blood. And I have a fantastic guest. In fact, I have two. In fact, I have three. One of them barks. So I don't know if he's going to actually bark his opinions today. I'm not sure. We'll soon find out. But we are going to run through a few things about the show before we bring our first guest on. Here we go. I can't believe we're in a new year. I just can't believe it. You know, you have all these plans, you know. I'm not so much a New Year's resolutions person.
Right.
I am definitely a put things down on paper, visualize it, manifest it kind of person. And, you know, we all have these great ideas of what we're going to do on the 1st of January. Well, I haven't really got to that yet. It's just been a crazy kind of week, hasn't it, Jim? To say the least.
A little off kilter.
to say the least. We're still doing our donation drive, and it finished, but we've still got people giving us stuff, which is wonderful. I'm going to be meeting Sue from the Poppy Foundation later on today to give her some stuff for the kitty cats. And in turn, I think she's bringing me some gift wrapping kind of stuff, because we always use that kind of stuff for all of our raffles and auctions that we do for Animal Rescue. So as much as I'm trying to empty the garage, it still keeps filling up. But it's wonderful that people are still donating. I went to my Starbucks 2 days ago, the drive-through, and they said, "Oh, Sam, we've got more stuff for you." So I'm just thrilled about that. And we had a couple of really big checks come in. One came in from Maurice Sawchuk, celebrity magician, and married to a musician. Those words are hard together. Friend of ours who did a charity show at Christmas. And Rocking for Rescues has benefited from that. And Dorothy Scaringe Realty Group, they gave us a very big check yesterday. They actually give us a percentage of their commission when they sell houses. And that's just phenomenal. So, yeah, it's been so much for I'm going to take a little break in January from the fundraising thing. So much for that. But I'm glad it's still happening. If you are new to the show and you want to connect with us in other areas, aside from obviously listening to the show or maybe listening to the archives, you can actually find us on every social media platform you can imagine. Our main website is vegasrockdogradio.com. So you can always go there and you can always listen to the show there, either live or you can listen to all the archives. Or you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, Pinterest, Tumblr, Instagram, all of those great places. You can also find our show on iHeartRadio. And you can also find our show on iTunes. So if you like to listen at your own leisure or the show's on at a time that you're not available, it's easy to find the show. So you just search Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Is that all my homework, Jim?
I believe so.
Have I done all?
I think you got everything in.
Oh, my gosh. Was it cold on the dog walk this morning?
Pretty much.
Not
like, it was like 40 this morning when I got up.
Oh, it's chilly, isn't it? I sweat.
I called my mom, and it's -9 in Pennsylvania, so 40's pretty warm.
Oh, I would never leave the house. I bet people have there's very high subscriptions of Netflix and Amazon Prime in very cold climates, I would think, because you're going to be indoors. You've got to entertain yourself.
And meatloaf and stroganoff.
Yeah, all those comfort foods.
It's cold outside.
And a blanket. I mean, I've literally worn a tank top earlier this week, and now it's back to boots. It's getting ridiculous around here. It's getting ridiculous. But and our nature is all confused because my trees are starting to bud. And everybody doesn't know what's going on. All the nature, they're saying, what's going on? But it's still not really cold, really, when you think about it, is it, Jim, compared to other people's climates?
There's a blizzard happening in the south, and Atlanta and North Carolina or South Carolina are getting blasted.
Oh, I know, because my friend Donna, she just said...
We're doing pretty good here.
She said people are shopping like it's the apocalypse. Well, I guess you just have to stock up. You never know, do you? You know, if you're going to get, snowed in. I'd love to see a bit of snow this season, Jim.
That's great. How are you going to do that?
We can go to Mount Charleston.
We might.
How do you get up there? Do you have to do chains? I mean, what's the best kind of vehicle for that?
Depends on the weather. You might need chains. Front-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, chains. Depends on the road conditions. You have to check the weather and the road conditions before you head up there. Yeah,
I really want to see some snow. It's in my blood, and that's what we're talking about today. We are talking about blood, and let me tell you this: my guest. I've got 3 guests, and one of them's furry. Here in Las Vegas, we have the Veterinary Emergency Critical Care facility. They actually, I think, are getting ready to open their 3rd one, which is very exciting. And we're bringing on Kelly Tantallo, and I hope I've pronounced her name correctly. She's a licensed veterinary technician with a specialty license in emergency and critical care. And if you see her name, you'll see these letters after it: LVT, and then VTS, and then ECC. So she's real deal, basically. That's what's going on. And VE+CC has been providing the Las Vegas area with cutting-edge emergency care since May 2011. I've only ever heard amazing stuff like that. I just don't mean good stuff. I mean amazing stuff about this place. So currently they have 2 locations. I think they're getting ready to open their 3rd, and they are a dedicated 24-hour emergency hospitals in Southern Nevada. Now, they are associated with the Las Vegas Veterinary Specialty Center, another place that people rave about in town, and that allows for rapid consultation with specialists in surgery, internal medicine, ophthalmology, cardiology, oncology, and neurology. And the combination of VE+CC and LVVSC allows for rapid intervention, diagnosis, treatment across a broad range of specialities. And I can guarantee you a lot of pet parents in Las Vegas probably have no clue that these facilities even exist, and they need to know. And that's why we're doing this interview today, because they have a very specific program that is quite amazing. But they provide the highest quality of collaborative medicine to ensure your pet is treated with the highest level of care. Now, what they do have is called the Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank, and this is what we're talking about today. So hopefully you're not squeamish when you're listening in, but this is something you probably may never have heard of. And as I say, it's the Animal Blood Bank, and I want to welcome Kelly Tantallo to the show. Are you there, Kelly?
I'm here. Hi.
Yay. Isn't it a relief when you're like, we're connected? Thank goodness for that.
That worked.
Is this the first time you've done radio, Kelly?
It is.
Oh, congratulations! Hopefully,
Thank you.
hopefully it will not be your last, because I think this interview is going to be very interesting for a lot of people listening into, and I think it's going to spur people into going, I wonder if we've got one of these places in my town. And I think that's going to be an important thing to share this information. So, how's your week been? Do you have you have a crazy week this week, or?
Every week's crazy.
Is it really?
Yes,
So-
it's always crazy.
So how do you, I mean, of course, you're in that situation, you're in a place where, it's not a dry cleaners and people come and drop off the dry cleaning, you know what I mean? They're bringing in these cases that are not, low stress, I am sure. So how do you, when you get home, how do you kind of shut off, or what do you do when you work in that environment and you come home? How does that work?
A bottle of wine.
You're fantastic. That is so funny, because you've got to do something, haven't you?
Yeah, you do. You have to figure out a way to shut it off for sure, because it's all day go, 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 all night go, go, go. So
Wow, 24 hours. And what kind of a shift do you work?
Currently I'm kind of on all of them right now.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so being the supervisor, I kind of just fill in where I'm needed.
Right.
So, yeah, so it's all over the place. So most of our shifts are about 12 hours.
Wow. Your coping skills must be really incredible, though. They have to be in that environment, don't they? I mean, there's no time for falling apart, is there?
Nope, you have to keep it together.
Do you find that some people come into the profession and find that is probably their downfall, is that they can't cope and they can't hold it together? Do you find that they kind of drop out of the profession? It takes a certain kind of person to do what you do?
Yeah, it does. Especially in emergency, it does take a special type of person, somebody that can handle the chaos all the time. But that's what's the best part about emergency in my eyes. That's the reason why I'm doing it, is it's always something different. You don't always get good things that come out of it, but when you do, it's very rewarding. So
I believe that would be the case, most definitely.
Yep.
It's fun. I am definitely that hold it together person. I felt some of my stories, I swear, Kelly, they sound like I make them up, but I was living in Korea, in South Korea, like you do, in a dance show. My twin sister was in the show, and I pushed a glass door, actually in our room. We had a suite kind of thing, and I just gently pushed it with my fingertips on the glass, and all the glass broke, and I fell through it. It was the craziest. It looked like I ran through it, but I just literally lightly pushed it, and it just all cracked. And I was calming my twin down. I fell through it. I was cut, and she lost it. So I think I would be suited to those kind of situations.
Yeah,
but yeah,
you'd be fine.
I think it'd be okay. I'm like, I'm all right, and I'm bleeding, And I'll be honest with you, when you don't speak Korean and you have to go to the hospital, and I had to go a couple of times when I was there, that's a whole different story too. And I guess I kind of relate to any animals coming into a situation like that where they're not sure what's going on, because, they're animals and it's humans communicating. And for me, it was just a completely different language. So that was a little bit scary. So I would imagine that you have a really great demeanor towards animals that are coming into your facilities, yeah?
Yep. That's all I've ever done is animals. So,
So this is your passion.
Yep.
And is this something that you just knew very, very early on? Were you that kid that brought strays home?
Yeah. When I was little, I always was talking about how I wanted to volunteer at shelters and things like that. So as soon as I was able to get a job, that's where I went, was straight to an animal hospital, just doing like walking dogs, feeding them, all that kind of stuff. And then just basically went from there.
You've basically done all aspects, when it comes to animals, like you say, just going to the shelter and walking them, which actually is such a big thing. And not a lot of shelters allow it, which is very bizarre to me, because you and I both know often they don't get walked at all. Often they don't even get a bath, so, and they need that interaction, and it can be scary for them being somewhere like that. And I wish that more shelters would actually have a really, really good, strong walking program where they connect with the community as well. Because I can guarantee you, I think if you go and walk dogs, you'll probably end up adopting one as well. I would think it would be a very good program. There's a shelter back in England, and they utilize the whole Pokemon thing. Because, a lot of the parents are having to go out with their kids to look for the Pokemons. And so what they did, very clever and so pop culture-ish, they said, you know what? They had their shelter as the Pokemon stop. And they had people come in and said, look, if you're going to be with your kids anyway, why don't you come up and pick up a dog, walk a dog while you walk with the kids and do the Pokemon thing? And I just thought it was genius. I mean, absolutely genius. So they got to sign them out, and I thought it was a very clever way of using, say, current pop culture. But knowing all aspects, like you say, from literally like, I want to help in a shelter, and I'm going to start by walking dogs to where you are right now. That's quite amazing. It's quite amazing. But how long have you been at the clinic? How long have you been there?
I started off at the specialty center side of the hospital.
I see.
But so total, it's been about 13 years now.
You're amazing. No one even lives in Vegas 13 years. No. So you must really, really love what you do. And obviously they really love you because you're still there. So let's get on to this incredible program. And I did learn about this from my friend Sam Smashington. Her real name is Raymond, but as you know, we all call her Sam Smashington, or maybe you don't. But and Roger. And this is how I learned about what you do, Kelly, and the program itself. And it's the Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank. Are you the only blood bank in our area?
Yep, in Las Vegas we are. We're the only one. So we provide blood to the other regular hospitals too. They can actually buy it from us.
Oh.
And then, so it's pretty important because they also use it. I mean, we have it for our own patients too, but they can call us when they need it also. So it provides the whole city, and we're the only ones.
That's incredible. How far have you had to send blood, would you say? Have you had crazy requests from like Reno or?
It's funny. I wasn't actually involved in this one because I wasn't there that day, but they did tell me that one of the hospitals back east had actually called us and asked for some blood from us. And I can't remember exactly where it was, but I know it was definitely a ways away. So we shipped it on some ice and sent it to them. And that's basically how we get blood from the national blood banks too. So right now, that's the reason why we're trying to promote it so much, is because we don't have enough donors to actually basically fulfill what we need for the entire city. So we still have to buy it from the National Blood Bank too.
I see.
And that's how they ship it to us. They just send it to us on some ice and overnight it. And so it was kind of neat to be able to do that.
Wow.
And send it to somebody else. So
and can you imagine how they felt when the clinic said, yes, we can get this to you. Can you imagine? That must be an incredible feeling that we can help and they're getting help. What do you have on, like you say, you need so much blood for the city. So what is that quota?
For how much blood we actually need to provide? Oh, geez. That's a tough one. I mean, I would say just in emergency at my hospital, we could see anywhere from 30 patients a day.
Oh.
And believe it or not, dogs that need transfusions, even cats, it's very common. A lot of people don't know that it is common, but there's a lot of conditions out there where they need it. So if you take that, I mean, I would say throughout each day, transfusions that we do is probably at least, I would say 3 to 5 transfusions a day just at my hospital. So I can't even imagine what is out there in all the other hospitals that, that we're not actually even involved in. We're just giving them the blood too.
That's unbelievable. It's a lot. Gosh, yes. So if you do 3 to 5 a day, then you times that, by the year, that's a lot of, wow. So it's not uncommon then to be doing transfusions at all.
No, it's not, and it's not uncommon for them to have multiple transfusions. So, then you're going to need even more blood if you start them off. A lot of times, some of these diseases that they can have, you have to almost like jumpstart their body to start accepting their blood, making red blood cells again. So you have to give them that first unit just to help them out and kind of make them feel better.
Yeah.
And then it takes sometimes several days before their body actually starts making their own red blood cells. So because of that, they're getting another unit and then another unit. So it can be very extensive sometimes, and that's why we need so much.
Wow. Typically, what would a transfusion cost?
I would say, I believe a bag of blood, just off the top of my head, is like $250. So it's not cheap.
Right.
I mean, emergency care in general, and specialty care, really isn't. I know compared to a lot of places in the country, we're actually fairly reasonable, but it's expensive, and that's why I'm a huge promoter of pet insurance. Yeah. So because people, you never want to get in that situation where your dog needs blood or something of some sort and you don't have the money for it. So I work at the hospital and all my pets have pet insurance.
That's incredible.
Just in case. Yeah. So, but then they're in the hospital too. So that gets costly.
That's right. And you're providing a 24-hour service that in the middle of the night you can call, we know that you're there. And, that's worth his weight in gold. It really, really is. Jim and I are definitely the type of pet parents that we don't care what things cost. We just take care of it. We'll figure it out. Not a big deal. But like you said, there are some people that are in that situation that this would be a difficult decision for them. And ultimately, sometimes it's a very sad decision they make if they don't have the money or the means. And then here's the thing: a lot of people actually don't know about pet insurance. A lot of people don't know there's like care credit. A lot of people don't know you can. There are some organizations that will help you pay for medical. But if you don't know that, then you feel like you're in a really tough spot there. And like you say, it's not cheap, but it's life saving, isn't it? And that's really what you're doing there. Now, does animal blood keep just as long as human blood?
We can keep animal blood for about 42 days, roughly. So, we do store it. We have a refrigerator that's made specifically for storing blood products. So we do have it. Right. We can store it, but honestly, it doesn't even last that long to get to that point where it expires.
Right. Yeah. Like you wish it would, wouldn't you? Like, I wish we would just like, it expires, great, because we're not doing a ton of transfusions. But the reality is that that's not the case. So it can keep if you need it for that long. I guess that would be a good month, wouldn't it? If you didn't use it for for that many days. What is the screening protocol? What's the criteria of anyone that wants to have? Well, this is the thing. I know people are going, how are they getting the blood? How are they getting this blood? Well, the blood is coming from animals. So who do you take from? You take from dogs? Do you take from cats? Do you take from any other animals?
We do have, we have our own cat donors that actually live in the hospital with us.
Oh, wow.
So they basically have a big room that they run around in. They're all together. They're not separated.
Right.
So that we use them for, and our employees, we use our employee kitties to actually do for the cat blood. But for dogs, those are the ones that we take from the owners. So those are the ones that we need the help with. And basically, in order to be a donor, you just have to have a dog that's 50 pounds or more, just because you have to make it safe for them. We have to be careful how much we take. They have to be between, at least 1 year of age, up to 6 years.
Okay.
Once they turn 6, we usually retire them from the program. So just for their health, we don't want to push them too far, especially if we have a dog that can donate from a year old up to 6, I mean, that is amazing. It's awesome. So and the only other thing is they just have to be up to date on their vaccines. So they've had to, see a veterinarian before and things like that. No medications. We do have heartworm preventatives on the list that they can be on. That's the only one. And then the only other big thing is they can't have had a litter of puppies before. So it doesn't mean that they have to be spayed, but they just can't have puppies at any point in their life in order to donate.
Oh, wow. And what is there a complication that comes along with that if that's the case has happened?
So I could go into this for hours and hours, and it'd be so much fun. But so the reason, just kind of a general idea of why they can't donate if they've had puppies. So basically, their bodies, they build up these antibodies when they have puppies for the immune system, and everyone kind of knows how that part works, so it's pretty easy. But when we pull blood from them, because they have all these extra antibodies that they've built up in the blood, it can cause the recipient that gets the blood, so the actual patient, to have more of a reaction because of all those antibodies. So it's just like when someone has a organ transplant or something, and their body wants to reject it. Same thing. People can reject blood too, and so it's the same thing with animals. It's not any different. They can reject it. It just causes that percentage to definitely go up a lot higher if they've had puppies before.
I see. That makes absolute sense. That makes absolute. So that criteria is over 50 pounds between the ages of 1 and 6. Clean bill of health with their current vaccines, and not having had litters. That's amazing. That's really amazing. But of course, like you say, cats are a little bit easier, aren't they? You can keep them in an open space and whatever. But can you imagine if you had a bunch of dogs running around at your clinic? Oh.
Yeah, they would definitely that'd make things interesting for sure.
How many blood types are there for dogs and cats?
That was my next question. You're psychic, Jim.
You guys are putting me on the spot.
It's not a test. It's not a test.
For cats, there's actually 3 types. One of them is very, very rare, and that's AB. So you have a type A, which is very common. That's pretty much every cat that exists has type A blood. Type B is more of the rarer breeds, like the exotic breeds, like British Shorthairs, the Persians, Himalayans, Maine Coons, a lot of those really pretty cats that you don't see a whole lot of. Those are a lot of times B cats.
I see.
The AB ones are the ones that I'm talking about. That's very rare. We don't really see those, and we don't have donors for those. For dogs are a little bit different. There's a ton of different blood types for dogs, but there's some main ones that we actually look for that is what we like screen for when we have them come in for the screening. So there's basically what we call in general is negative or positive donors. So if they're negative, that's basically what a universal donor is considered. So they can donate to any animal out there.
Right.
And then positive donors, we actually have to give to actual positive recipients. So that one's a little bit tougher. But so those are the 2 that we actually carry in the hospital. And then there's a whole bunch of little blood types that go along with it that we also test for, that they have to follow that criteria in order to be the donors, but they're not something that we actually kind of, it's not what lets them pass or fail. Okay. It's just those main positive, negative ones that we're looking for. And then the other thing that we have too with dogs, so we use them on an emergency basis. Sometimes dogs need whole blood, where we actually pull the blood from the donor, give it to the recipient, straight from the donor to the recipient. It goes out of one dog and right into the other.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, so it just depends on what they need. Otherwise, if they come in just for donation purposes and storing it, we actually separate it into red blood cells and into plasma. So then we have 2 components of the blood, and we can use plasma for those dogs that have clotting issues. If there's a lot of times we see dogs that have eaten rat poisoning. They love it because it's super sweet. And so that basically allows their blood to not clot. That's what happens when they eat that. So they have to get plasma and things like that.
That's scary.
Help. Yeah, so there's different reasons why we pull blood and how we pull it and separating it. There's a lot that goes into it.
Gosh, it's very detailed. I'm so glad that you guys exist. I'm so, because I'm one of those people, when I love something and I think it's so valuable to pet parents, I'm like on the top of the mountains, singing it to everybody. And so we'll be sharing like crazy. Now, when you're short of blood, or you see you need to stock up, how do you reach out to the community? What's your main way of doing that? I mean, how many dogs do you have on your roster of donors currently?
I believe I think a combination of the cats and the dogs, I think we're up to 42 right now.
Okay.
Which is awesome, because I'd say 6 months ago, we probably weren't even half of that.
Oh.
So we've gotten a lot of them. But we do a lot of the community events. So, they have all the different walks that you can do, Petapalooza, all the different events that they do.
You guys were at the Chapman Dodge Pamper Your Pet Day, weren't you?
I don't know if we were.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, we were.
Yeah, because I went around and did my rounds and said hello to her, because I was the MC for the event. So I always like to do my rounds and see who's there. And and connect. So that's one way that you reach out. And I'm assuming you just also do it through probably email and through social media. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a whole list of all of them. We can call owners at any time. We have some of them that are actually there for 24-hour purposes that are like, just call me whenever. And we have other ones that are in the program just, for us to schedule donations for them, which is either way is fine. We have enough of both. But yeah, the community events are what we get most of them from, I would say. And then word of mouth, because a lot of people donate. I mean, there's a lot of people at those events, but there's a lot of people that aren't. And so they don't even know anything about the blood bank. And so word of mouth is probably the biggest one of how we get that out there. But still today, I mean, even when I talk to clients at work, they've never even heard of the blood bank, and we're out there doing these events all the time.
Gosh, I will definitely be spreading the word. In fact, what I do after the show, or once the show goes up on the archive, I always write a blog. A short blog with the radio interview on there and some information and stuff. So that'll be another way that we can actually share this information. Does it always go to plan when they come in to donate? Do you have some funny stories?
Yeah, I mean, there's always, I would say most of them go very smoothly. There's not any problems. But we do have, I mean, like Roger, he's been one of our longest donors that we've had. I mean, him and a couple other ones that started off in the very beginning. But I mean, they absolutely love coming in.
They're pros.
I mean, they're not afraid of it, because they know as soon as they're done, they get a treat, they get something. They get all kinds of
and it's those positive experiences are what do it. So it clearly has a lot to do with how you guys are, And I could only imagine the feeling of you're all there together, going, this is a wonderful thing. This is a wonderful thing. This is a life-saving thing. I mean, the atmosphere must be great when you're doing something like that. Like, oh, here we go. You're grateful to the pet parents, grateful to the dog or the cat. I think it's a brilliant program that I say not enough people will know about this, but they soon will because we will just be blasting this absolutely everywhere. What would you say your success rate is when you have to use the blood, for transfusions and stuff like that? I know you said sometimes not always, the happy ending, but would you say for the most part it's always success stories?
We actually, so we have a Facebook page on Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care Facebook page, and we're trying to get much better about it, where we focus more on those success stories, and we post the actual donor that gave the blood and then the patient that got the blood. As long as everything's going well, we love putting those stories up there, and so people can see that. It's hard to give you numbers, but there's always ones that do really well, and then there's ones that don't do as well. But the biggest thing to remember is even if they don't do really well, we're at least giving them a little bit longer with their owners. Yeah,
and better quality life than not having that. Yeah.
Yeah, so that almost in itself is sometimes enough for owners just to give them a little bit longer,
Yeah.
And then there's ones that do great, and they go and live on their lives and do great for years afterwards. So it just depends. But either way, you always have success stories, and you always have ones that don't do really well. But overall, I'd say most of them do fairly well. And the doctors are awesome too about letting those owners know ahead of time, like just giving them an expectation on what to expect and things like that. So you usually know ahead of time before you even start doing the transfusions for the most part.
Right.
Every case is different.
Yeah. Wow. Have you had any miracle cases where you're just like, wow, we can't believe how this turned out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's in emergency, you always have those cases that come in that it's hard because sometimes you see a lot of different patients and you kind of know how a lot of the cases can sometimes go depending on what they have. And there's always those ones that surprise you.
Yeah.
And they come out of it and, they come in and you don't even know if they're with us half the time. And we get them, to a point where they're back up and eating and drinking and stuff like that. And there's always those success stories, those miracle ones that we, can't believe that they actually pulled through, but they do. Some of them do.
That's it's got to be, like you say, emotion. It's got obviously not the easiest job, but like you say, with these miracle cases, or just the fact that you come in and you can fix them up and they go on to live happier lives, or they live for a little bit longer with a better quality of life. It's got to be very, very rewarding indeed. And I just, I have to thank you for that, because a lot of people, that would be me, I don't think I could be in that kind of career. I don't think I could do that. I can do this, and I can blast everywhere about great people like yourself that are helping animals, but I'm not sure I could take that. You're something else, I'm telling you. And we do appreciate people like you. We was at the vet this week with Galaxy. She's got a little lump on her neck that we're actually having removed on Tuesday, but it had actually split and was bleeding, and it freaked me out. And it wasn't as bad as it looked. I mean, it did look horrible, but you know how I'm sure you do this all the time. People come in like me, stressed out, really worried, trying to hold it all in, and then I just started crying. And the vet texted, do you want me to give you a hug? I was like, yes. So, and that's how much we appreciate what you guys do, for our pets, and also holding us together as well. And the nicest thing is my vet, she came out and there's blood on the harness. She goes, we really tried to wash it and get the blood out the harness. I'm like, oh my God, you're so nice. But it's those things that, we do appreciate. Now, what's the website? What's the main website where people can get this information?
www.VECC24.com. So Veterinary Emergency Critical Care 24.com is basically just abbreviated. And there is a link on the top of it that you can actually get to the blood bank part of it.
And it's a logo, isn't it?
Yes, it's a logo. Mm-hmm.
So that's easy. We'll put this up on our of course, and throughout our social media profiles. Once this goes up on the archive, I can guarantee you this will be probably one of the most popular shows. And the fact that we leave them up there, people have access to that information. So we keep it up there, and then we see the downloads, and they're huge from these type of shows. Like I say earlier, the Pooh Show was one of the biggest shows ever. People said, "You talking about what this week?" I said, "It's the Big Pooh Show, not just any old Pooh Show. It's the Big Pooh Show." And it was fun, and it was informative. And this will be on exact similar lines to that. So, are you off on the weekends, or are you working today, or how's that going, Kelly?
I'm actually off today, but next weekend I am. There's a day I'm working on the weekend. It just depends. Like I said, my schedule's kind of all over the place, but. This week I got Monday through Friday, and next week I'll be working on the weekend. So it just depends. But either way, so it's not just myself that does all this. There's a lot of other people to give credit to, also with the doctors and the other girls that work with me in the blood bank committee. So there's somebody there all the time during the day. At nighttime, we usually have somebody too that's part of it that you can talk to if you want to schedule stuff and come in.
Right.
But either way, we're always able to get back to you if especially if I'm not there, and you need to talk to me, but there's always somebody that can help you, that's in the committee too, that helps me out all the time, for all those questions, just setting up appointments, whatever you need.
Do you know, at some point, Jim and I should get hold of you and come down and have a little tour of the place, because I'd love to see, the whole scope of what you guys do.
You'd be amazed at what the hospital looks like if you did come down. I'd be happy to take you around. But yeah, it looks like, to me, it reminds me of a human hospital inside. There are rooms everywhere. There's hallways everywhere. There's people running around all over the place. It's huge.
So this is hospital for animals.
Yep.
And you are changing lives, definitely, with that. And I'm so glad that you're available 24 hours a day, because I'm sure there are probably small towns that don't have access to what you guys provide, and that's got to be quite scary as a pet parent if something goes on middle of the night or whatever, or your traditional vet can't take care of that. It's out of their speciality. But I think this is absolutely amazing. Well, I have to say thank you so much, Kelly. I know it was kind of a little bit of a last minute, wasn't it? We got you on board, and I'm so glad we did. And then what I'll do after the show, I'll send you a link so that you can share this beyond this. Now, I have a quick question for you. Do you happen to have any kind of a flyer that promotes the blood bank and looking for donors? Because if you have, email that to me. We'll include that on the blog post as well, and we'll put it through social media. Let's see if we can get some more donors on board, some donor pets who are heroes in saving lives, because I think once people know about this, they'll be very interested in participating as well. So, but yeah, send that to me. That would be wonderful. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you.
Because you're like, yay! I bet you live for your days off. And your bottles of wine. Well, thank you, Kelly. It's been an absolute pleasure. We will meet in person for sure. And after the break, I'm bringing up Baby Roger and Sam Raymond. So if you're hanging about, listen through. Let's hear what that experience is. But thank you so much, Kelly. Right, we're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the Queen of Rock and Roll Dogs. We'll be right back.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroiled burgers, but we also make your dogs happy. When you come through our drive-thru with your furry friend, we'll offer your dog a treat. If not, always ask for one. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, carlsjroflasvegas.com, has a treat for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so be sure to visit us regularly. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of dog adoption in our community. You can find us at Carl's Jr. of Las Vegas or on Twitter at Carl's Jr. of Vegas.
Pet Scene Magazine is dedicated to Las Vegas pets and the people who love them. It's a source of news and information for pet lovers, as well as offering valuable coupons and specials on pet products and services. Find them online at www.lvpetscene.com or look for them on Facebook.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. Wasn't that interesting? So if you're just tuning in, we were talking to Kelly Tantallo over at the, I have to get it right, the Veterinary Emergency Critical Care Hospital, and they're getting ready to open their third location. And we specifically talked about their Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank, which I know a lot of people will not know that this exists in town. I learned about this. I knew about the clinic, the hospital for sure. I knew about some of the amazing work they've been doing over there, but I did not know about the blood bank until I spoke to a friend of mine, and her name is Sam also. She's also British, so it's not me trying to throw my voice in the interview. And I found out through Sam about the actual blood bank itself. And so we thought, well, you know what? We were having Sam on the show. We're having Baby Roger on the show, which is her dog. And we said, let's even get Kelly on the show. Thankfully, she was not working today. And she ran us through what their blood bank offers and what's the criteria if you want your pet to be a blood donor for animals, and the types of blood, which was very interesting. I say the screening protocol, and we're going to talk about a real live situation and how Baby Roger donates blood to other animals, and it's going to be really, really, really exciting and fun because to bring the two together is great. So from the professional standpoint and also from an actual donor's position. So do we have Sam there yet?
No, she's not there. I'm trying to reach out to her. Wait. Hold on a second.
Looks like we might be connected. Hey! Hey, Sam Smashington.
I was getting all panicky because I had the radio going and then I didn't know how to switch it from the radio to the FaceTime.
It crossed my mind. I thought, I bet she's listening to the show and going, oh my God, how does this work? Oh, so you obviously got to hear the beginning of the show with Kelly, yeah?
I did. I've been listening. I was just trying to show you. Little Roger is not really up to participating. He's passed out by the fireplace.
Let me see if I can see you here. Hang on. Oh! I'm going to take a picture of that. That's hilarious. We're going to post that. So this is my guest. This is what happened with my guest.
Roger.
He's fantastic at lounging, I've got to say.
He's a champion napper.
He needs, you know what he needs? He needs a smoking jacket. And
he does. Oh my gosh, he'd look so good in that.
I think you can see me there, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, I can see your cleavage, actually,
Oh,
Sam. There
oh,
you go.
you see, I told you it's that kind of show. It's not any ordinary show, is it, Sam? by no means. Sam is not a stranger to the show. She's been on the show before. She actually came on, and when I had Alicia Halloran, who they'd not met each other, and she had a reading about one of her dogs who'd passed, which was Lincoln. And it's not the best angle, I must admit, Sam.
Not from me.
Not for me, it's not. I'm sorry. I think my boobs might give you a black eye. Let's see if I can re-angle that.
No, don't worry about it, Sam.
Like I say, we're not like anybody else's show. We're just, we're just ourselves. But yeah, you're not new to the show. But now you're coming on for a whole other reason, and it's because of you that I got to learn about the Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank. Because Baby Roger, and it is Baby Roger, by the way, people. It's not
Even
just
though he's 4.5.
Yeah, he's still Baby Roger. He is actually a donor. So, how did you find out about the program?
I think I was reading something online. I just lost Lincoln, and God bless the veterinary critical care and emergency, because he was there a lot and at the specialty center, and I have to say they were amazing.
Oh, see, that's another good story. People always have so much good to say about their facility. Yeah.
So I wanted to. I was just kind of wanting to give back a little bit, and I didn't know how to do it. I heard about the blood program, and I can't remember if I was Googling to see if there was a program, and then I saw it. The Veterinary Emergency and Critical Care Center came up, so I called and I talked to Kelly, and she said, bring him in. And that was almost 3 years ago. He was almost 2 when he started.
See, I didn't know that this was about you wanting to give back because of how great they'd been with Lincoln. That's just, see, I love that. I love that. Now, what did Baby Roger think when you told him what was going to go on?
He is the easiest going dog in the world. He is happy no matter what he's doing. He's never in a bad place. So he just walked right in, and the only time they had to give him a little something to relax him was because there was a cat in the treatment room. And he just goes crazy when he sees a cat. So apparently they'd already put the needle in to draw some blood, and apparently it goes in the jugular, so I'm sure they don't want to mess around with that once it's in. Oh my gosh, I never thought about that. But he is, I mean, every time I've seen him, he's very calm. He's very calm. And I'm sure at the end of when he donates blood, he goes, give me my biscuits. He does. Where's my biscuits? His biscuits and his cuddles. They always give him lots of cuddles and attention. So it's a positive experience for him, where he's familiar with the place, and he knows what's coming, which is brilliant. So how often is he allowed to donate? It depends. I guess in this last year we've been in a bit more because maybe they haven't had enough people, or I guess some of the dogs maybe have aged out. Right. But, so occasionally they'll call us and say, can you come in today? We have a dog that needs it today. Oh, amazing. And then I'll always try and accommodate. Yes. And then, but often it's just like, we need to stock up. Can you bring him in? Which day is convenient for you? Can you bring him in at such and such a time that's convenient for you? And I'll bring him in, and 45 minutes later they'll bring him back out again. It's all done. So it's a fairly short process then, isn't it? Yes, really. Very, I mean, you're not there all day, doing this. No. And so what position is he in when he's giving blood? Is he stood up? Is he sat down? Is he laid down? I actually went to see a fake draw. We did a little stint on the Fox 5. I think it was Fox 5 or Channel 13 or something a few months ago. I remember that. Yes. So, and the girl who was doing the interview, she wanted to see a blood draw, but they said we can't do like a real one. Right. So they just used Roger, and they went through what they would do, the process. So he's lying down, and the girls, I think there was 3 girls there, and there's the big machine, and they kind of showed that they would put the needle in to the jugular there, and then it comes out and just pumps into this big machine that spins it and does all the, whatever they do with all the blood. Magic, yeah. Yes, and then he just lies down for a little bit, and they keep him, for a few minutes and give him his juice and cookies. That's so great. That is. And then they bring him out. Oh, so how much blood does he give then each time? Is it a set amount? How do they do? So they go, okay, we've got half a pint, we're good, or? I don't know. I think they probably take the maximum they can take, I'm assuming. Yeah. And then he'll come out. He has like a big lump in his neck afterwards, which is where they pump the fluids back in. Oh. Usually by the time we've got home and he's walked around a few minutes, it's completely just dispersed. So after he's donated, they then put some fluids back in? They do. Do you know what they are? What's in them? I think it might be the same as the IV fluids that put in, because he used to have an IV in his back leg that give him fluids while he was giving blood.
I
and then
see.
Now I think they just put it all in one place. So he's got like a big balloon on the side of his neck and then it goes down.
The medical field's amazing, isn't it?
I know.
I mean,
and I have to say...
Like, who thought of
Kelly,
that?
I know, right? And when you and Kelly were talking about what it's like there, and she said it's like a real hospital, I went back there when I watched the fake blood draw.
Right.
And it's just, I was so impressed. It's just like a real hospital back there.
Aren't you glad that we have that in town?
I'm so glad, yeah.
Because I'm sure that anyone else living in a smaller place doesn't have that.
It's like the Mayo Clinic, Sam. They're like the Mayo Clinic for dogs. It's incredible.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That is. I can't wait to go over there and actually meet Kelly in person, and then see everything that they do over there, because they do a lot. My gosh, I was looking at the services that they offer. It's an insane. I mean, this specialist in so many areas. It's really, really impressive. I'm so glad that we have it, So,
and they all really know their stuff. When Lincoln was sick, the doctors that we saw there, I mean, it was, you had the meeting with them and the examination, then whatever surgeries, and they're following up with emails. So everything you've talked about in that meeting, about treatment that you're going to have for your dog. Obviously, when you're in a panic, you're not really paying. It's
That's
not
right.
one ear and out the other. Then you get the whole conversation in an email, so you can just sit down and read it. They're really on top of their game there.
This is their passion, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, these are people that are dead serious about helping animals and in the best way possible. Do you happen to know? I've been listening to a few people that I follow online in the animal world, in the medical field, and whatever, and they're talking about treatments coming. I don't know if they're available now or they're kind of experimenting with them, but like vibration treatments that instead of cutting out or laser burning this or did it to get rid of something, that they're actually using frequencies that essentially blast tumors and stuff like that. It sounds very space agey. But I'm thinking this is probably the facility that if that was to come about and be a treatment, they would probably be the ones that would offer that. But they're saying these are the people topping their. Oh, who was that?
That's Lulu.
Oh, she's the boss. Lulu's the boss of the house. She's the little one. She's the boss of everybody. That's too funny. See how they listen to you? Mine don't listen to me, Sam.
Look, coming on the radio.
Lulu, come on the couch. Come and get on the mic. Come on, Lulu.
Come here, Lulu. Come say it again.
Oh, there she is. Let's even get another picture. She's hilarious. Look at her. Oh, she is
What's
the
she doing?
She's the boss. She runs them all, doesn't she, Sam?
She does. She does.
She dictates.
Look, Lulu, this way.
Lulu.
So you can Sam take a picture.
Lulu.
What's this?
I got it with a big tongue sticking out. You see, this is what I love about my show. I don't care if a dog barks or a cat jumps on your head during the interview. It all adds to the show. But yeah, these are the top people in their fields going, oh, wow, you don't even know what's coming, as far as new treatments. And I would think definitely they would be a facility that would adopt all that brand new stuff. And I'm sure they do treatments people have never heard of. I'm sure of it.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, a blood bank, in itself is just brilliant. Now, of course, you told me about it. I'm sure you told a million other people about it. Have any of your friends and their dogs actually got on the program because of you telling them about it?
I don't know. A couple of my friends did try, and I know that they were not a good fit.
Okay.
One of my friends actually did get on the program right after Roger joined, but she left town soon after and moved away, so she's not there anymore. But yeah, so a couple of people, and I always try and send people over there and say, just go in. I tell you the other thing about it, Sam. I want to do this about giving and helping, but another good thing is they get a complete blood work done every year just to make sure that their blood is, because obviously they can't be sick. So that kind of gives me a little peace of mind. Just because I'm always such an over panicky mom that if, God forbid, there was anything wrong, they would pick it up and then hopefully detect something early.
It's one of those things that not enough people do for their pets. They go, they think it's just this expense. Like, really, I need to do blood work. It tells you so much what's going on.
It does. And also, they send his, the results of his blood work to our regular vet. so that if ever he has to go down and have a small surgery or something, I don't have to pay for the blood work because they've already had it done.
Oh,
I've already had it done.
That's
so,
a bonus.
There's some bonuses.
There are. I mean, what do we pay for blood? 200? 200, yeah. So, I mean, that in itself. So, there are some little perks that come along with this.
Yes.
Do they ever tell you? I mean, I don't know if they know this. I mean, do they have his blood name with his name on it? And they'll be like, "You're getting the Baby Roger special."
They do, because when we did the fake blood draw for the TV news, they actually pulled out a pack of blood from the refrigerator, and Kelly said to me, "This is actually Roger's blood."
Oh my gosh!
I know.
Oh my gosh! I just love that. Now I know that they featured. They have the Meet the Donor Monday, and they had Baby Roger on their blog, and I'm gonna read this because it's really cute. It says, "Hello, my name is Roger, or rather Baby Roger. I am known by my family and friends, even though I am 4.5 years old. My mum says I am always in a good mood, which is true because I really do love life. And my favourite toy is my ball, especially the one that treats is stuffed in it. I also love to sleep, and when I sleep, my tongue always hangs out, and it's true, of his mouth. I love my daily walks, and I also love going to the mountains to play in the snow because I can eat snowballs, but I never eat the yellow ones." I like it when I donate blood because the people at the clinic spoil me and give me lots of treats, and my family tell me I'm a hero. And they say thank you to Roger, Baby Roger, and Roger's family for being so supportive of our blood donor program and helping save so many special doggy lives. That is so great. You know what? We're going to put, as I was saying to Kelly earlier, oh, hey, Roger.
He just woke up. He must have heard his name.
He goes,
Look,
oh,
Sam.
Hello. Oh my gosh, he's hilarious. He's like, "You talking about me? I'm the star. I'm the star." Well, I'm going to include that on our blog post when we put the radio show up on the actual blog itself, because with a great picture of him, and we'll put that up because I think it's really funny that he knows the difference between a yellow snowball and a white snowball.
Yeah.
And that's
very smart boy,
that's a
aren't you?
good trait to know the difference. So when is his next visit to donate?
Probably not for at least another month or so. We went just before Christmas, just so they could stock up for the holidays. And so I think they don't do it any. They have to wait about 2 months. So that's what they try and do.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Well, I've got to thank you, Sam, for this because, like I say, out of them looking after Lincoln as well as they did, and then wanting to give back, and now he's he's one of the employees over there now. Does he get benefits? Yes, some benefits. Will there be a do they do a retirement party for them when they get to 6?
I don't know, but I think I'll throw him one.
I think you should.
The other thing is, when they go to donate, one of the vets there, they will go and give him the once over and just feel him and check him and give him a quick physical.
That's wonderful.
That's another good thing. Mm-hmm.
That's really good. I'm thinking a party. We can start planning now. We can make it epic. You know, his retirement party when he's 6 at the ripe old age of 6.
He's going to be 5 at the end of April, so then we've got a year to plan that.
Yeah, really. I think that would be good. Wouldn't that be amazing? But I think what we'll do is we'll really try and encourage people to take their pets down there that they know that will possibly be a really good fit. Because they are saving lives. I mean, it's just wonderful. And if it wasn't for you, I would never have known about that we actually had a blood bank here in town. You know, like she said, you know, sometimes we buy blood, but I mean, to actually have their own program it's invaluable, isn't it? It really, really is.
It really is.
And I guess they're opening up their 3rd location from what I was reading.
Yeah, I think it's over closer to me, actually.
Oh,
on, Craig. I think,
nice.
Which would be good.
That's nice. What a great facility, though. Well, we can definitely share this like crazy everywhere. And so, does Baby Roger want to blow me a kiss before we go?
He's in a really weird position. I don't know if you can see him. Roger, what are you doing?
He's like,
say goodbye.
Bye.
Say goodbye to Auntie Sam.
Bye, Baby Roger. Oh my God, I love that
sweet.
face. Oh my God, he's brilliant. Well, Sam, what are you doing this weekend? Are you relaxing a little bit?
This is funny. My godson, who's 8, gave me one of those Goosebumps books. Those kids are dying or something. And he said to me, "Do you read in bed at night?" So I said, I do sometimes, Cruz. And he went, "Well, I think you'll really like this one." So he's given me one of his 8-year-old horror books to read.
I think that's hilarious.
So I promised him I'm going to read that this weekend. I'm having a home weekend this weekend.
Sometimes you just need that, don't you, Sam? You just got
I've got the fireplace going.
Yeah.
I've got the candles going.
The blankie, the Netflix, the wine. Wine's been a topic today. Wine's been wine, blood. Blood's the colour of sangre, blood. Yeah, it all tied in today. Well, I want to say a big thank you, Sam. And
thanks to you, Sam.
I'll be sending you the link so that you can share that as well. Because let's make Baby Roger famous. That's what I think we should do. All right, Sam, have a great weekend.
You too. I'll see you tomorrow night, probably.
Unfortunately, we can't go.
Oh, okay.
I'll message you, though. But
I'll see you soon.
You will see me soon. Bye.
Okay. Bye, Sam.
Well, that's a big thank you to Sam Raymond there and Baby Roger, who are actual donors at the blood bank. And I'm very, very glad that we got Sam on and Baby Roger and Kelly as well. So you can see both sides of what happens down there. So we'll put these links up on Facebook so that you can all get that information. And we're going to kind of wrap up the show, I think, Jim. Yeah. Oh, we've got to run a couple more commercials. We'll be back after the commercials. Hang on in there.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome to Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming, your one-stop shop for all of your pet's needs. We offer premium natural pet foods, full-service grooming, and an on-site bakery and boutique. You can choose to self-wash your dog or schedule a luxury pampering with our professional groomers. Our new Cool Cat section offers feline food, toys, bedding, and litter, while the adventurous dog department has everything you need for your outdoor activities. Cody's Healing Garden is a special place featuring flower, aromatherapy, and herbal remedies for pets. Ask us about Karma Connection, our program supporting animal rescue. Find us at barkingdogslv.com and look for us on Facebook and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you at Barking Dogs Self-Wash and Grooming.
Hello, this is Jim and Sam from Vegas Rock Dog.
We've been styling dogs and their humans since 2005, and no matter what size your dog is, we can give your best friend the bark and roll look that will make them stand out from the rest of the pack.
Vegas Rock Dog has a fantastic collection of tank tops, dresses, sweaters, jackets, collars, and ties for your dog.
And for you, the owner, there are rock and roll tanks and tees and great accessories. Wearing Vegas Rock Dog makes you look and feel like a rock star, and that's why everyone loves our gear, including Hollywood celebrities.
So grab your leash and go to vegasrockdog.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Vegas Rock Dog.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.
Welcome back, everyone. We are pretty much at the end of the show. Really enjoyed my guest today, Kelly Tantallo from the Veterinary Emergency Critical Care Hospital here in Las Vegas, getting ready to open up their third location, in particular talking about their Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank. Their website is VECC24.com, and of course you can find them on Facebook. Just look for Veterinary Emergency Critical Care, and you'll probably have to put in Vegas as well, and you'll find that quite easily. If you go to their website and you want that information about the blood bank itself, there is a logo on there that says the Las Vegas Animal Blood Bank. Click on there, gives you all the information. And if you think that your pet would be a good match, then and you go over there and your pet is, let us know. We'd love to know if you actually joined the ranks of the hero blood donating animals such as Baby Roger. So a big thank you to Sam Raymond, who we call Sam Smashington, for coming on the show, as well as the pet parent of a fantastic donor dog, Baby Roger. And as I say, we've been friends a long time. She told me about the place. I had no idea that it was a big part of giving back after they looked after Lincoln, her dog, all that time ago. So I think that's a wonderful little, tie-in there. So that's the first show of the year done, Jim.
So fast.
So fast.
Quick.
And off on a very good note.
When you have other guests, I don't speak very much.
I know you don't. There you go. Well, if you've loved today's show and you're listening to it on an archive show, so you're either listening on iTunes or iHeartRadio or one of the podcast catching apps, as they call them, then there is a share button, and we'd love a share. We'd absolutely love a share. If you listen live, thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I certainly did. And remember, that's how we're going to close out, like we always do. You can help an animal in need. Either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, share their information on social media, or become a blood donor. Rescue your next family member, replace the word shop with adopt, and be kind to all animals. Big thank you to Kelly, Sam, and baby Roger for being on the show today. Take a moment and go and find their Facebook page and support the work that they do for our animals in the Las Vegas Valley. Thank you to Jim for coordinating all the calls, all the craziness.
Yes, I was reasonably good at it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll buy you lunch. And today you've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture. I'm your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs. Always kiss your pets good morning and good night, and I will see you next time.
Shut up and sit down.
You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Pets, people, pop culture.